I'm Katerina.
I'm Anna.
I'm Lenore.
And we are the juniors. So today we have a very special guest, Miss Galaxy Canada 2019 and Miss International
United Miss Teen 2020.
Okay, this is so long.
No, I know, it's very long. It's very confusing all the time.
So, for start, we want you to present yourself and tell us a little about your story and your journey. Why do you start the pageants and all of this stuff?
Awesome. So I started pageants when I was 10, so about 9 years ago. And the more I got into it, the more systems I found. And then I got into the Galaxy system because we actually had our first year of Canada Galaxy in 2019. And so I reached out to the director and I joined, and I was lucky enough to win Miss Teen Galaxy Canada 2019 and have that incredible journey of being on Team Canada and going to internationals. I really had the best time ever. And after that experience, I really was still like craving more of that international crown, right? So I joined International United Miss, which is a similar system to Galaxy. It's hosted in the United States. And I just got an appointed title for Canada, and I was supposed to be going this summer in July, but due to COVID-19 I wasn't able to go, but next year I will be going to internationals for IUM. So I'm excited about that. Some other things about me: I am a second-year university student. I take communication, media, and film. So that's really fun. I love doing that. I love reading, and my platform for pageants is the Princess Program, which is essentially a charity that raises money so that girls in my local area can get prom dresses for free if they're otherwise unable to afford them. So that's been really fun. I do a lot of events with them. Yeah, that's kind of me.
Okay, you have been in a lot of pageants, right?
Yes.
And now we're gonna start do some questions to you, and I will start with Anna. So Anna, can you make your question?
So you say that your international finals be removed for the next year, right?
Yes.
So how did you react to that?
It was disappointing to me. The thing was, the pageant actually didn't get canceled. It was just I wasn't able to go because I'm Canadian, so I can't cross the border. So all the international contestants, unfortunately, were not able to make it. But the pageant still ended up happening. So it was interesting because I got to actually watch the competition on my screen that I was supposed to be competing at. But yeah, I mean, it was disappointing for sure, but I think that, everything happens for a reason. You have to be safe during COVID-19. There's, it's at the end of the day, it's just a pageant, even though it seems like our whole world when you're in the pageant world. But yeah, I'm excited to go next year. Hopefully COVID-19 will be a little friendlier to me, and I'll be able to hopefully go and potentially win or do well. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And now I have an extra year of preparation, so I'll definitely be using that time.
I know you're gonna be very well.
Oh, thank you.
I love your crown. It's so special.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. This is the IUM crown.
I love holographic things. So, yeah. So now, Leonor, can you make your question?
So my first question for you is, describe yourself in one word. Describe myself in one word. I would say determined. I would say that because there's been a lot of things in my life that I've kind of had to make pretty big decisions on, and I've always just trusted my gut. I've always went with what I think is right, and whether it's the right or wrong decision at the time, I always just stick with it. And I'm really determined to get to that end goal, whether it be a crown or whether it be a diploma or whether it be, really anything in life. So that's kind of my main thing, is being very determined.
This is a thing I really love in someone. It's be determined because I'm so
Mhm.
horrible, take decisions and all of this stuff. So
Yes, yes,
it's
yes,
something I really appreciate in someone.
yes,
How
me
can you
too.
do that?
Yes.
So I have a question for you. Do you remember some funny moment on Galaxy pageant or one of other pageants do you have that you really think it's so fun?
Funny moment. You know what? I remember probably the hardest I've laughed in years was at the Galaxy International pajama party. It was so funny. I think all of Team Canada was just having a really, really good time. I think we were laughing so hard because of like the funny acts. Like Australia had a fabulous act this past year with their cute little outfits and they sang their song. But I think we were laughing so hard really because we were really super tired and all the exhaustion was finally hitting us. Um, and I remember that was just like one of the funniest moments ever. So definitely at the pajama party, literally just watching the performances, not even doing anything special.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay. Anna, can you read your question?
Yeah, of course. So who is your role model on beauty pageants?
In beauty pageants, I would say one of my role models is Sierra Burchell. She was one of our former Miss Universe Canada winners, and she's all about body positivity and really sharing that message. During her Miss Universe Canada reign, she actually got a lot of body shaming comments, and and that really resonated with me. Not because I just really feel like it's important, especially in the pageant industry, to really show that we are more than just beauty, right? We're confident, we're smart, we're driven, we're all these things. And I think a lot of the times pageants just people on the outside of pageants who are just looking in see it as just, strictly a physical beauty pageant. And that's we all know that's not the case, people who are in it. But and I think her sharing that message really kind of showed people that it's more than that. She's a lawyer, she's really smart, she really was kind of like defying the odds of what people expected what a pageant girl was, and I really appreciate that. And of course I'm really happy that she's Canadian, of course. So yeah, definitely Sierra Burchell.
Yeah, it's really important to show the other persons that a beauty pageant is just isn't just about someone
Right.
that's go with a dress to a stage and
Of
shine.
course. Yes. I
So, Leonard, can you make your question?
So my other question is, what did you learn from all the pageants that you have been?
mm-hmm. I think one of like the biggest lessons that I've learned is that competing in a pageant is awesome and being at the pageant is awesome, but I think the big competition, the actual competition, is before you even get to the stage, before you even get to that pageant weekend, right? It's with all the prep and all the work and all the community service, you gain all this experience, right? Like I go to so many events and charity events. I've made so many connections with people within my community and also like nationally, especially with my national titles. I've had great opportunities to do that. And so I think it's important that each pageant girl like soaks up the experience before even getting to the competition, because I think that's where you get the real value. So even if, unfortunately, if you don't win, then you still can look back on this and be like, wow, what a great experience. I got so much out of it. And it doesn't seem like such a loss, right? Because I've had my fair share of losses, 100%. And I think when I do lose, I can look back and be like, okay, but this was still such an incredible time, because I got to do this, this, and that. And yeah, that's what I always think about. That's like my number one piece of advice. Yeah.
So, now I'm gonna make my question, and I want to know: do you have some idea how many pageants do you have done before your actual pageant?
Okay, so we call it in Canada title pageant. So Galaxy, IUM, there's a bunch of systems kind of like that where you compete and you get a title. But before that, I actually competed at like day pageants. They're kind of like glitz pageants, but like natural. So like wearing like, you know, that's not like college and tiaras type of like look. But it is that kind of format. Like it is more like dance and dancey routines and that kind of pageant. So I did a lot of those. So I don't even know. Probably about 20, 25 of those, and then I've done about 5, 6 7, and somewhere in the 30s. I don't know exactly how much, but somewhere in the 30s.
How many?
Yeah, it's a lot, for sure. But now I only do about a pageant or two a year, because of just how it works out. Like you do national and then hopefully international, or with my appointed, I can just go straight to international. So it was just one. So it depends on the year.
Yeah, do you like in Canada, do you have a lot of pageants? Here it's a little different. We just have pageants for more than 12 years old,
Yeah.
and it's just Galaxy do that. So we don't have a lot of pageants since USA have, Canada have. Your countries are very more big in the pageant world than
Yeah.
ours, and we like know all of these stuffs because it's different.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, Canada has a good amount of pageants. We're definitely growing. We're not even coming close to the United States. We have about 5 big pageants like World, Universe, Galaxy. We have Royal International Miss now that just came out this year. There's a few. So yeah, I would say we're about the same size as like the UK in terms of how many pageants we have. And there's like a small community of us, like of like 100, 200 girls tops that like compete regularly. So yeah.
So now, Anna, can you make your question?
It's not a question, it's more for you say your opinion. But
Okay.
like a lot of people say that beauty pageants is just for beauty persons. Did you agree?
No, I definitely don't agree. I think I get why people say that, right? Like I get that a lot. Like, oh, it's just like colors and chairs. Oh, it's just the prettiest face wins, right? Um, just because that's what the media and that's what TV has shown people, that's what the competition is. They like to watch Colors and Tiaras and see the freakouts and just the kids dressed up and all these stuff. And I think people miss, even on like Miss Universe, people miss the interview portion. That's so important. That's like one of our biggest areas of competition, and that's not even shown on stage or on TV at all. And like I was saying before, the prep before the pageant, that takes me a whole like about a year of preparation to do community service work and do all this stuff. And if you don't do this stuff or you don't do it well, then the chances of you walking away with a crown is slim to none, right? And so I think it is so much more than beauty, and I think everyone in the pageant industry who is in it knows that, which I'm really grateful for. But yeah, I think it's kind of hard to explain to people unless you really are there at a pageant and you see the work that's being done, and you see the girls. Because everyone that I've ever met from pageants is incredibly nice. Like all 3 of you are wonderful, and you know, this whole pageant community is fantastic and filled with really, really smart, amazing people. So if it was just about beauty, I think it wouldn't be as fun as it is.
Yeah, the really funny thing, but it isn't so funny, is because all the persons are in the pageants know this isn't just about beauty, but who
Right.
are outside, who was supposed to help, who are inside, and all these things think it's just about beauty.
Right, exactly. Yes, I couldn't agree more.
So, Leonor, can you make your question?
Give one advice for the girls who want to be like beauty queens and do pageants.
So a piece of advice I would give is definitely really think about the whole picture before you enter. Make sure that you are able to have those connections within your community to do your community service work. Make sure that you know what you want to wear on stage and get your wardrobe together. Make sure you practice your interview. I think it's important to look at every single area of competition and every single piece as equally important, because I know there is, of course, different weights of things that are, you know, more important than others that weigh more for your score. But I think if you look at everything, like even photogenic, a lot of people sometimes underestimate photogenic, right? They would think more, oh, let's get a perfect gown and like not worry so much about the photo. It's important to be consistent across the board and to have, you know, everything, you know, as best as it can be before entering a pageant. And I think that's where you really find success, because there's some people who will excel in evening gown, but bomb in interview. And that ratio can knock you out of the top position, of course. So just having good consistency, you don't have to win every category, but just be consistent throughout. And I think that's how you win and that's how you do well. And yeah, that would be my piece of advice. Just be consistent.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna make another question, and I want to know: do you have some idea how many appearances do you have done since
Oh,
today?
appearance since the beginning of pageants? I think it would be around like 50 or 60 appearances. I try to go out as much as I can. Of course, I'm now a university student, so I'm really busy. But whenever I can, I take the train to appearances, go pretty much anywhere. I like to set up really big appearances and make sure that my events are, you know, really important. That's just a me thing. And so I really enjoy doing that and making sure that I'm, you know, working really hard to get those while I'm emailing a bunch of people, or, you know, trying to squeeze myself into the next charity event, whatever it is. So yeah, 50 or 60. So I do a good amount, but not like insane.
So Anna, can you make your question?
Yes. For all of appearance that you do, who is your favorite and why?
What is my favorite? 2 years ago, when I was competing for Galaxy Canada, I was Miss Teen Galaxy London, and I went to this event called Night of Heroes, and basically it's this huge fashion show in my hometown here, London, Ontario, and it's just this big event where a hero, which would be me, and there was like firefighters, and there was also a bunch of amazing people from our community, come together, and they walk down with one person who has a disability of some kind. And we walked on the runway, and there's like thousands of people in the audience, and it's just this big charity fashion show, and I just had such a fun time. I remember I had so much fun with the little girl that I was paired up with. She was so sweet, and I think doing events like that, like really like heartwarming events that just make you smile, are my absolute favorite. And we actually raised a lot of money that night, like $100,000 for the organization. So I was really, really pleased to be there, and I was really thankful that I was asked to be, you know, one of the heroes. It felt a little silly me being a hero, but it was really awesome. It was really fun. I love that one.
This seems to be really, really fun and awesome. So many money to share and take.
Yes.
So, Leonor, can you make your question?
My question for you is, did your family and friends accept well the fact that you're participating on beauty pageants? And
Yeah, that's a great question. So I really had to beg my parents to let me do pageants. I had to like invest my own money, so I got like a part-time job, and, you know, tried to contribute as much as I could, because obviously we know that pageants aren't, you know, the cheapest activity to be involved in. But in terms of support, my sister was super supportive. She actually now competes at Galaxy, so she's competing for Miss Galaxy Canada this year, so she's really into it with me. And then my mom was really supportive. She loves driving me to my appearances wherever I need to be. So that's awesome as well. My dad always is up in the audience. So overall, I was really lucky with getting a lot of support from my family, and they just wanted to see me do well. I think over the years, they've become more supportive just because they've seen how much work and how much effort I put into it. And they know that it's not just a fluke thing that I wanted just to do once, but rather it's, it's been 9 years now. So they kind of have to be on board.
Yeah, it's amazing have your family support, because without your family, it's always difficult. And
Yeah.
now I want to know, you still on school, on university? So in school, the persons are supportive. They make fun of you. How all of these were working for you?
Yeah. So that's a great question, because actually, all the people in my high school I went to when I was in high school 2 years ago, everyone in my grade, like people my age, were very supportive, and they were very friendly, and they were when I won, I'd post on Instagram, and the next day they'd all congratulate me, which I was super grateful for that, because you never know what people's reaction's going to be to you. I'm in a beauty pageant, like you never know what they're going to say. In terms of teachers and stuff, I got definitely mixed reactions. I think some teachers were confused that I did that, and they didn't really know what it was about. So a lot of the time I did have to explain what it was all about. There was even one time that a teacher was just talking about pageants. It was like the second day of school. They had no clue I competed, and they were talking, kind of poorly about them, and everyone in the class was feeling a little uncomfortable because they knew I competed but not the teacher. So I told them what they were all about, but definitely mixed reactions. Like, you never know what people are going to think or what people have seen already, in terms of pageants. So I kind of just, if they don't like it, I try to give them the information about like what I do, what it's all about, what we all do. And if they still don't like it, then that's them, because that's not going to stop me. But yeah, having support from teachers and classmates in particular was really great and awesome.
Yeah, it's important we don't let the opinion of everyone affect us,
Yes.
because if their opinions affect us, I don't know why we are on pageants, because pageants help us to be more confident, and we need to be
Yeah.
confident in who we are and what we are doing. And an amazing thing on pageants is charity. A lot of persons don't know that
Mm-hmm.
we have to do charity and care about
Yeah.
the others and not just about ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So Anna, do you have more questions? Leonor, do you have more?
I have one more. Is if you could change one thing in the world, what will be and why?
Ooh, that's a very good question. One thing in the world. I would change the way that like customer service and like frontline workers are treated. I think now with COVID, we've been able to see how much we need the grocery store workers and people who work in fast food restaurants, and maybe people who we didn't really see as a valuable employee. Now we depend on them for our life. And so I think hopefully after all this COVID-19, we can kind of see the way that we treat people, especially in the customer service industry. I know I worked in retail selling like clothes in a mall for, a little while, and not everyone's always so nice. Even in Canada, not everyone's so nice. So I think just having respect for people, no matter what their job is or no matter what they do, is really key. And I think if we're going to get one thing good out of COVID, it will be that we can learn to like respect each other more. So that would be what I would change.
Yeah, this is a very important thing. We should respect everyone to be respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have more one question for you
Okay.
is, what was your feeling when you know that you will be Miss United International Canada
Yes.
and Miss
Yeah.
Galaxy Canada?
Yeah. So the two experiences were different. So this one is a pointed title. So basically my crown and sash just got mailed to my house. So it was of course it was exciting. I was excited to start that journey, but it doesn't really compare to the feeling I got when I won Miss Teen Galaxy Canada, because I was on stage. I competed for it. Cindy was crowning me. I was the first Teen Canada winner. It was a really overwhelming feeling, and it was a pageant that I had prepared for really, really hard. I spent every single day doing things, and I felt a lot of pressure to not necessarily win, but to do well, because I had just worked so hard. So it was just a sigh of relief. Like, I was there standing with my first runner-up, Aaliyah, who is fabulous, and she still actually competes at Canada Galaxy with us. But it was just like a lot of nerves. I remember I couldn't hear the MC, so I was like really worried I wasn't gonna hear if I won or not. Or so I mean, it's an overwhelming feeling, because it's all your work culminating to like one moment, like 1 second. And it's really exciting. So definitely different experiences with the appointed and the crowning. But I love both. Like, you can't really take anything away from, either experience. So I'm really grateful for my crowning moment, though, for sure. That's a moment I'll never forget.
Okay, so to end my questions, I won't just make more one. What is the feel when you will give the title to another person, when you will end your reign?
Yeah, that's a great question. For example, when I gave over my Miss Teen Galaxy Canada crown to Chloe, who will be going to internationals in 2021 for the next Galaxy International pageant, I was really excited. I really got close to a lot of the contestants. I made sure that I did my best with that, and making sure I was reaching out to them. So I was really excited for, frankly, any of the girls. Any of them could have won, and I would have been thrilled. But Chloe, I remember, just did such an amazing job. She worked very, very hard. And I was just really proud. I had my moment. I had my time at internationals, and I was excited for someone else to have that same experience. So yeah, and for my IUM title, hopefully someone comes with Canada, because right now I'm the only Canadian that will be going. So we'll see. That would be exciting as well, if I can build another small Team Canada like I had last year at Galaxy Internationals, because that was definitely a highlight, having the Team Canada. But yeah.
I think it seems to be fun, but at the same time, it's like you change the page of your book of life. It's
100%. Yeah. One moment you're a title holder, the next moment you're not. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, Leonor, do you have more questions?
No.
And you haven't got to. Okay, so I think we will end now. So first, I would just want to say thank you so much for being here. We are so grateful to have you here and can make this interview with you. I want to say too, if someone are watching this want to make some questions to Elizabeth, you can write them right below and on the comments, and she will respond you. We want to say that if you want to see us on the gala, it's 28th of November, and the tickets are on Ticketline. And you can donate to Ronald McDonald Foundation. Please follow them on Instagram. It's Foundation Ronald McDonald. And you can help us, because this time it's awkward and different to everyone, and they really need your help. So, and don't forget to follow Elizabeth on Instagram and help she's journey on pageants, and follow us too on our Instagrams. Our Instagrams will be on the right down on the description box, and don't forget to follow our Instagram, now.you.no.the.juniors. And it's that. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Elizabeth, for being here. We are so
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was lots of fun.
Thank you, and bye.
Bye.